now we have a treat. We will have a lion dance to be performed by the group of Wanyag Lion Dance Association. And this association was founded by Chris Chang. So put your hands together. Let's get excited for the lion dance.
Yeah. Go ahead and make the offering when you're ready. Okay.
Oh, I want a picture.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe. Okay.
Martha, what are your thoughts on signing up those candles?
Maybe a little futile. I mean, you could try them. If they go out, they go out. Now it is my extreme pleasure to introduce Dr. Raj Kumar. Dr. Kumar is the founder of the Gandhi International Institute for Peace in Hawaii, and Dr. Kumar is also liaison for the sister state relationship between Hawaii and the state of Goa, Republic of India. So he is also the president of the American Foundation Council, the Hawaii chapter, and he's also on the board of the Interfaith Alliances of Hawaii. Dr. Kumar initiated a Senate bill through the GIIP that was signed by former Governor David Ige in April 2015, making Hawaii the first state in the nation to declare October 2nd as Mahatma Gandhi Day in Hawaii. Dr. Kumar initiated a House bill through GIIP, which was signed by former Governor David Ige on June 21st, 2019, making Hawaii the first state in the nation to declare June 21st each year as International Yoga Day in Hawaii. Dr. Kumar has authored numerous books and contributed several articles on faith, peace, and nonviolence and health in Hawaii's leading newspapers between 2005 and 2018. So it is my pleasure to ask Dr. Kumar to address us today. Thank you.
Aloha and namaste. On behalf of Gandhi International Institute for Peace, I would like to welcome you all to our 18th annual event to commemorate the 154th birthday of one of the greatest leaders in the world history, Mahatma Gandhi, and to celebrate International Day of Nonviolence. I want to thank Hawaii Governor Honorable Josh Green and Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi for sending proclamation for today's event. Here from the Hawaii, the Senate President, Honorable Ronald D. Kochi, Senator Mike Gabbard, House Speaker Scott Saiki, House Representative Scott Nishimoto, they send the certificate honoring and commending GIIP for its efforts to serve Hawaii by championing the cause of nonviolence and reminding Hawaii and the world of the true aloha spirit. According to Dr. R.K. Kothari and Rajan Bora, who wrote a paper on Gandhi, and they said, according to Gandhi, by nature we are nonviolent. Gandhi therefore stressed upon the unilateral rejection of the use of violence in any form, in any human relations. To Gandhi, war was unrighteous because it contradicted the principle of ahimsa. Ahimsa means you do not harm others in your thoughts, speech, and actions. And the higher law of dharma, which is our duty. He firmly believed that violence could not be removed by violence. It could only be removed by nonviolence. Gandhian concept of nonviolence postulates positive relationship between man and nature, man and society and society. Human values are to be promoted and nurtured as to develop feelings among the people that they are not citizens of one specific country, rather citizens of the global world, global society. Gandhi has inspired many political, social, and religious leaders all over the world. I will mention few names. Japanese Buddhist leader Daisaku Ikeda, who was inspired by Gandhi, said, his activism is not mere action, but contains many aspects of a spiritual practice that is inspired by the inner urging of the conscience. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said he was very much inspired by Gandhi too. Dr. King said, if humanity is to progress, Gandhi is inescapable. He lived, thought, acted, and inspired by the vision of humanity evolving toward a world of peace and harmony. Dr. King encouraged people to practice nonviolence as resonated in his words. It is no longer a choice, my friends, between violence and nonviolence. It is either nonviolence or non-existence. First Prime Minister of Jawaharlal Nehru said in 1947, he described Gandhi as a powerful current of fresh air and like a beam of light. Gandhi has also been an inspiration for the Tibetan leader Dalai Lama, who said, many ancient Indian masters have preached ahimsa, nonviolence as a philosophy. That was mere philosophical understanding, but Mahatma Gandhi in his 20th century produced a very sophisticated approach because he implemented that very noble philosophy of ahimsa in modern politics. And he succeeded. That is a very great thing for the world. And that is precisely the greatness of Gandhi, and that is the message of Gandhi to the modern world. He said, my life is my message. Gandhi will continue to inspire political, social, and religious leaders all over the world, like American singer, songwriter Joan Baez, human rights activist Cesar Chavez, American social activist and writer Joanna Macy, and Mubarak Awad, Palestinian American psychologist and advocate of nonviolent resistance. Gandhi was not a saint, but a common man in modern world. In the footsteps of Buddha and Jesus, he said, I have nothing new to teach to the world. Truth and nonviolence are as old as the hills and mountains. To attain global peace, Gandhi advised the following. Peace workers in every nation should demand their government for total disarmament. The basic principles of disarmament should be respected by all countries. If nations truly inspire for peace, they ought to build themselves on principle of nonviolence. We can achieve global peace by cultivating the spirit of nonviolence and peace in the hearts of men, women, and children around the world. When we work together, we make change. Gandhi and his teaching are very much alive in our modern world today. Today, something or the other is being done, achieved, or organized in the name of Gandhi all around the world. In short, there is a global nonviolent awakening and awareness. The name of Mahatma Gandhi transcends the bounds of race, religion, and nation states, and has emerged as the prophetic voice of the 21st century. Today, Gandhi is remembered for his passionate adherence to the practice of nonviolence and the supreme humanism. In every corner of the world, Gandhi emphasized on using noble means such as satyagraha, asserting for truth. and ahimsa, nonviolence, to achieve peace globally. According to a Hindu saint from India, Swami Paramhansa Yogananda, giving love to all, feeling the love of God, seeing the presence in everyone is the way to live in this world. May peace prevail on earth. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar, for those beautiful words. So we are very fortunate this year to have Professor Prasad as our keynote speaker. He is a Gandhian scholar, an active member of the Gandhian organizations and Savadoriya movement in India. He is also associated with the Gandhian movement and organizations for 5 decades. He has taught courses at Stanford University, University of Nebraska, Omaha, Cardinal Stritch University, Milwaukee, universities in the U.S. and around the world. Professor Prasad has received many awards, including the John Dalby Award for Outstanding Social Work in 1986 in Bombay, Rotary Award, Bharat Seva Ratna, Honorary Kenyan Nonviolence Advocate, Award by the University of Rhode Island, Kingston, for promoting global peace and nonviolence, educating and building worldwide beloved community. Professor Prasad has organized a workshop on Youth for Global Peace during the 18th Nobel Peace Summit held in South Korea in December of 2022. He led 12-member delegation to the Nobel Peace Summit held in Mexico in 2019. And he's a coordinator for the Gandhi Mandala King Conference in South Africa on June 6th to 9th in 2023, which was held by the Gandhian Foundation, University of KwaZulu-Natal, and Gandhi King Foundation. So we would love to welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Prasad.
Thank you. Good morning. Namaskar. It is an immense pleasure, and I feel extremely grateful to Hawaii, particularly Dr. Raj Kumar, who invited me to come to Hawaii. Professor Mark Gilbert, Harendraji, and all of you for the warm welcome and accommodating me here. And my visit is an extremely learning experience for me. And I am here to pay tributes to Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the Indian nation, apostle of peace and nonviolence, crusader against injustice in any form, and an inspiration for many a liberation, justice, environmental movements across the world. He is the one who said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." It is easy to preach, to tell others, do this, do that. But any change that you wish, it should begin with us. And I'm always surprised when Gandhi said the kind of guts, the kind of strong determination he has. When he said, "So long as my faith burns bright, I hope it will, even if I stand alone, I shall be alive in the grave." And what is more, speaking from it. We people, while we are alive, not able to influence anybody. But Gandhi could say that I shall speak from my grave. That's what he is doing today. He is challenging the whole world. So people are afraid. People having narrow agendas, parochial feelings, those who propagate hatred, those who believe in violence, they could not stand Gandhi. So they eliminated Gandhi with 3 bullets, but then realized very quickly these 3 bullets could not eliminate Gandhi, but Gandhi's memory, Gandhi's ideals are extremely strong in the mindset of the people. Today, to face that, it is hatred that they are spreading, falsehood they are spreading, even bringing down Gandhi statues. This will not really remove the Gandhian values from the society. And when I look at the personality of Mahatma Gandhi, the most apt description is given by the world famous scientist Einstein, who said, generations to come, it may be, will scarce believe that such a one as this ever walked in blood and flesh walked upon this earth. In fact, when I think about Gandhi, what he has done, Einstein's quotation perhaps is the most appropriate to describe Gandhi and his personality. And Gandhi influenced many people across the world, like Martin Luther King Jr., who said, Jesus Christ has given me the inspiration and Gandhi gave me the method. Cesar Chavez, who fought for the rights of the farm workers in California, used the Gandhian technique of nonviolence. In fact, just about a week ago, I met Paul Chavez, Cesar Chavez's son. So Gandhi's inspiration spread across the world to South Africa through Nelson Mandela. And Dr. King, Mandela and these people have demonstrated the universal relevance of Gandhian principles, Gandhian technique of peace and non-violence beyond time and space. What Gandhi did in the East, King did in the West. What Gandhi did in 1905, 1906, King did it in 1955, Montgomery bus boycott movement. So the technique of peaceful resolution of conflicts is possible across the world because the human nature is the same. Just because you are living in the West or somebody is living in the East, the values cannot be different. We are having the same, sharing the same human ethos. Now Gandhi's birthday is being celebrated as International Day of Nonviolence. And today's my basic approach or the theme suggested is to promote global peace. We just celebrated on the 21st of September International Day of Peace. And United Nations given a call that we should take action for promoting peace. As Gandhi said, there is nothing like sitting still. It has to be action. We have to work for peace. Just by asking, peace cannot be had. But then what is a peace? There are talking about many kind of things are being talked about. Now I just got a book in my hand from Barbara, talks about peace over war. Many people say that yes, we are fighting war because we want to establish peace. Can you establish peace through war? Is that a real peace? Is peace means absence of war? Is peace absence of tensions? No. That is peace of the graveyard. We are talking not about the peace of the graveyard, but the positive peace, promotional peace. Peace is sum total of human happiness, sum total of joy, the togetherness, the camaraderie, the mutual collaboration, mutual cooperation and support, mutual love and respect. So we have to work for the promotional, positive peace. And this peace can be had only through non-violence, what Gandhi stood for. What is non-violence? Non-violence is non-offensive living. My existence should not be detrimental to the interest of others. Because if I am existing, this existence on this planet is for a very short period of time. We all come onto this planet Earth and then disappear after some time. The question is, how do I conduct while I am on this planet Earth? What do I do? So Gandhi talked about that particular dimension when he used the word Swaraj, self-rule, that is self-control, control the mind, control the passions, passions of greed, passions of superiority, passions of insulting others, passions to exploit others. So Gandhi's approach, when he talked about non-violence is a non-offensive living, and this non-offensive living he categorized in 4 broad areas as to how I should conduct with myself. What can I do with my body? What can I do with my mind? What can I do with my spirit? Can I do anything I like? Can I eat whatever I like? How should I conduct with myself? Second point, how should I conduct with my fellow human beings? Can I insult? Can I speak lies? Can I cheat? Can I exploit? What are the limits to my existence? The third is, what are my obligations? How do I conduct myself with the subhuman world, the animals, the birds, the other living beings? I am seeing here a vegan society talking about non-violence to the animals and birds. So Gandhi talked about oneness of life. The life in you and the life in me, they are one and the same. All life is one, indivisibility of life. And when the life in you and the life in me are one and the same, how can one hate another person? How can you cheat other persons? How can you exploit others? So the realization that I am you, you are me, the life in me and the life in the dog, they are one and the same. So the kind of compassion, the kind of universal appreciation of the collaboration between animals and the human beings should also be recognized. And Gandhi also talked about how you relate yourself, how you conduct your own lives in terms of the non-living world, the oceans, the hills. Can you pollute the rivers or the lakes or the oceans? And all your modern development, scientific progress, maybe your discovery of atom bomb, you just dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, and I think I just yesterday went to the Hiroshima bell here, peace bell here. So your entire scientific progress, technological achievements, they have caused more human misery. And we have created colonization. India was colonized for 200 years. For the greed of a tiny island called England, in fact, Gandhi was asked by somebody, why don't we take to the model of the West? By controlling the nature, subjugating the nature, we should develop very fast. Gandhi said, God forbid we do that. Because the greed of a tiny nation like England keeps half the world in chains. If India takes to that model, it will rip the whole world like a locust. The locusts come and damage the whole of crops, something like that. Therefore, we have to live simply, that is a non-violent living, not with greed. If we are greedy, selfish, desire for unlimited accumulation, that results in theft, robbery, dacoity, adulteration, corruption, exploitation. On a larger scale, it goes to colonization, imperialism, neocolonialism, war. Then what have we got? Depletion of the ozone layer, climate change, global warming, but these days they are calling it global boiling, not global warming, it is global boiling. And we have subjected enormous sections of population under discrimination. We have seen slavery in this country, we have seen segregation in this country, we have seen poverty, we have seen untouchability in India, feudalism in India. So why a human being treats a fellow human being as inferior? Because we want to put them into a peculiar psychological situation so that I can exploit their labor. So this must cease. So Gandhi's message of equality is very, very fundamental. All human beings are equal by birth, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, color of skin, gender. None of these things have any choice. I am born by choice. I have not chosen my parents. I have not chosen my color of my skin or my language. So when I have not chosen, when there is no participation of mine in the decision or in the event of my birth, how can you say that I belong to so-and-so religion, so-and-so caste, and put me in a kind of categorization? So the fundamental principle is that all human beings are equal by birth and nothing more, nothing less. Now when we want to create a society based on the non-violence, first of all, let us examine if there is any element of non-violence in us. Are we individuals personification of violence, or are we personification of non-violence? So is there violence in the food we are eating? Is there violence in the clothes we are wearing? Is there violence in the articles we are using? Is there violence in the language we are using? And when you go to the movies, there is enormous amount of violence all through. And what are the toys given to the children? Machine gun. They play with the toys of guns and war tanks. So right from the childhood, they are growing in an atmosphere of violence. When you are growing the whole society or developing the whole society in a culture of violence, how can you create a non-violent society, a non-violent world? It becomes an automatically imperative that we will have violence as part of our beings. If somebody is dropping a bomb, don't blame them, because we are morally supporting those decisions of bombing us. Then we have to, non-violence is not an abstract term which can be found in the books of philosophy. No. Non-violence is practical. It has to be applied in our day-to-day lives. For example, I would like to talk about non-violent agriculture. In India, Indian culture is agriculture. The peasant would start saying Bhumata or Gomata. That means Mother Earth, Mother Cow, with a lot of reverence, a lot of love. It is not merely a superstition, but it is an extremely wise wisdom, I would say. So non-violent agriculture, non-violent technology, non-violent behavior, non-violent food, non-violent communication, we have to create a situation or lifestyles based on non-violence so that we become personification of non-violence, so that we will be eligible to create a world of peace. And I am so happy, so grateful to all of you for giving me this opportunity, particularly to Dr. Raj Kumar, and it's a very emotional, happy experience for me to be here. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Professor Prasad, for such an inspirational speech. So the Gandhi Institute for Peace, we have such lovely relationships with the legislature, and through Raj's association with the different levels of government here, have been very positive and supportive. So now Vedya will read a beautiful proclamation that was sent from our governor, Josh Green. Thank you.
From the state of Hawaii, Governor Josh Green, MD. Proclamation. Whereas Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi was born in India on October 2nd, 1869, and whereas Gandhi inspired human rights movements around the world with his philosophy of passive resistance, satyagraha, to achieve political and social progress, seek truth in a spirit of peace and love, and remain firm and resilient in the face of adversity. And whereas on June 15, 2007, the United Nations adopted Resolution A/RES/61/271, establishing October 2nd as International Day of Nonviolence. And whereas on April 9th, 2015, Senate Bill SB 332 was signed into law, designating October 2nd of each year as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi Day in the state of Hawaii. And whereas on September 11, 2001, Dr. Raj Kumar of Oahu laid the foundation for the Gandhi International Institute for Peace, GIIP, in Hawaii to provide information, consultation, education, and training to resolve conflict in a nonviolent manner. And whereas Gandhi International Institute for Peace has organized conferences and events in support and encourage nonviolence and to promote and celebrate International Day of Nonviolence. Therefore, I, Josh Green, MD, Governor of the State of Hawaii, do hereby proclaim October 2nd, 2023 as Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi Day in Hawaii and encourage the people of the Aloha State to join me in celebrating the legacy of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, practice tolerance and understanding, and recognize the strength of nonviolence and peaceful and positive actions. Done at the state capitol in the executive chambers, Honolulu, State of Hawaii, this 28th day of August, 2023. Signed by Josh Green, MD, Governor of the State of Hawaii. Thank you.
Aloha, and we say Renanim in our Turkish language. Glad to be here, and we're going to share two songs about the love and peace of our Savior and Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you. Check, check.
So we say thank you in our language, Kiriso Japur.
A follower of the Hindu tradition, which fully embraces the eternal nature of the living being, Gandhi was a lifelong vegetarian and gave the topmost honor and respect to every living being, and particularly the innocent animals, which are cruelly slaughtered to please mankind's uncontrolled taste buds. Out of this ahimsa, or the philosophy of Lord Buddha, the practice of protecting innocent animals instead of slaughtering them needlessly, Gandhi's political philosophy and nonviolence and anti-war developed. His dear friend and confidant, Leo Tolstoy, stated, "As long as there is meat eating, there will be wars." Both great men agreed on this critical point, that without respecting and protecting other living beings, so-called humans will settle their differences through violent instead of nonviolent methods. Nowadays, there's a global effort against bullying. And what is the ultimate form of bullying? Cold, bloody warfare. The Indian subcontinent has been under the control and financial exploitation of the British Empire for nearly 200 years. And Gandhi was determined to end it and give India her own independent political status. It follows that Gandhi was not a supporter of one world government, but a local government within the Indian subcontinent. To end this bullying from the British, Gandhi devoted the last 30 years of his life to nonviolent protest for India's political independence, which was a continuance of his near 20-year struggles against racism within South Africa. Gandhi's entire life was a testament against violent political and personal bullying. No one person in history made such an incredible sacrifice to end racist discrimination and violent political bullying than Mahatma Gandhi. And this is why we offer him the greatest honor and respect on the day of his birth. Thank you very much. Mahalo.
Next, we have another proclamation. This proclamation is from the mayor's office, and it will be presented today by Krishna Jairam.
The city and county is very proud to support this event. And as part of that support, the mayor signed a proclamation. And I'd like to read a portion of that proclamation to you all, if I may. Whereas, this year marks the 18th year of the special ceremony to promote peace and nonviolence in our communities. It is fitting and proper that we, as a community and as a nation, honor the life and work of Mahatma Gandhi by dedicating a day to celebrating his contributions to humanity. Rick Blangiardi, Mayor of the City and County of Honolulu, does proclaim October 2nd, 2023 to be Mahatma Gandhi Day, an International Day of Nonviolence, to commemorate Mahatma Gandhi's birthday and celebrate his promotion of tolerance, the full respect for human rights, peace on earth, and to extend our deepest appreciation to the Institute for continuing to organize this very important event. Thank you all.
Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that the mayor has sent that. Next, we'll be hearing from Professor Mark Jason Gilbert. Professor Gilbert received a PhD degree in history from UCLA, and for many years thereafter was a professor of history and co-directed the programs of the South and Southeast Asian in the University System of Georgia. From 2006 to 2019, he was holder of the National Endowment for the Humanities, supported endowed chair in world history at Hawaii Pacific University, where he still teaches at on a part-time basis. So, Professor Gilbert?
Well, despite this shirt, my wife and I go back to the age of 5 with our connection with this island, and certainly closely with Gandhi since the 1970s in teaching and traveling. It's such a great honor to be here, and even more important, I'd like to say another word of honor to Raj Kumar. Yeah, I can't. Oh, yeah, Raj Kumar. In all these years of connecting to Hawaii, this event that Raj has worked so hard to create, along with the rest of the members of the board of GIAP, and an event connected to it, which is Dr. Prasad's visit to Hawaii here, have been one of the most wonderful things to do in that long connection with Hawaii. Dr. Prasad has been living with me, and we were talking all the time constantly about Gandhi and how to look at him holistically and to undermine, as he tried to show, the hatred with positive needs of peace. One of my experiences with talking to people who knew Gandhi, including Arun Gandhi, is this story, which I'm going to relate to you and hope you can carry with you. An unnamed grandson of Gandhi was going to school, and he noticed on the way home that he really didn't like the pencil that he'd been using in school. It was starting to get short. And as he walked home, he threw the pencil away. And when he got home, Gandhiji said, "Where's your pencil?" And he said, I threw it away. And Gandhi said, "Do you know what it takes to make that pencil? The graphite that has to be mined or manufactured, the trees that are cut down to create the barrel, the effort it takes at plantation work to get a truly rubber eraser at the top. Do you know how much is invested by humanity and our ways of thinking of ourselves in that pencil?" And of course, you probably said, "No, Bapu, I didn't know." And he said, "You know what to do now?" And he says, "No." He says, "You're going to get the pencil back." He said, "Bapu, it's dark outside now." "Oh, okay." And I take that as an allegory. We're living in the dark. There are pencils out there all the time educating us to what we really have to do. And it's nice to have Gandhi to remind us of that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Gilbert. We really appreciate that. So now we have two more proclamations that we'd like to present, one from the Senate and one from the House. And just to show you, the entire legislature has supported our event today. So presenting those from the Senate, Meg Turner will present those for both the Senate and the House today.
Thank you so much, Madna. Aloha and namaste, everyone. I love that story about the pencil. I'll never think of pencils the same again. Thank you, Professor. As Madna said, my name is Meg, and I'm here on behalf of the Hawaii State Legislature, and Dr. Raj Kumar has asked me to present these honorary certificates in honor of this event today, and of course, Mahatma Gandhi. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi is commemorated annually on October 2nd with a national holiday in India and with the International Day of Nonviolence worldwide. It was established by the United General Nations Assembly in 2007, and this is, of course, the 18th day International Violence in Hawaii, so we've been celebrating for many, many years, thanks to Dr. Kumar. Gandhi is known as Mahatma, as we've heard earlier, which means great soul, and it was given a title of honor to one who was loved and highly respected. He was an inspirational leader of Indian nationalism in British ruled India between approximately 1920 to 1948. 28 years. He led India to independence through the pioneering use of nonviolent civil disobedience and passive resistance. His teachings and actions remain a legacy for the human rights efforts worldwide to this day. And I'd like to just share a brief quote from Dr. Raj Kumar, who with the Gandhi International Institute for Peace has brought us this event today. And Dr. Raj Kumar has said, "We are living in an age of darkness, ignorance, and the world is going through major turmoil. This is the right time to raise awareness about Mahatma Gandhi's wisdom, to counter violence with nonviolence, so that there can be peace on earth and the future generations can live in a safer world." Thank you, Dr. Kumar, for that quote, and of course, we can all relate to that. In Hawaii, the Gandhi International Institute for Peace was founded by Dr. Kumar with a mission to provide information, consultation, education, and training to resolve conflict in a nonviolent manner. Dr. Kumar's initial efforts resulted in the Hawaii State Legislature unanimously adopting Senate Bill 332 to designate October 2nd of each year of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi Day, a day of recognition and observation. And on October 9th, 2015, Governor David Ige signed the bill into law as Act 5, making Hawaii the first state to so honor Gandhi. And I think I forgot to mention at the beginning, I'm actually Chief of Staff for Senator Mike Gabbard, who couldn't be here today, unfortunately, but I'm presenting this on his behalf, as well as the whole state Senate. So in closing, we all know this quote, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." And that certainly has been an inspiration in my life, 10 years at the Senate, serving the senators. So the state Senate honors and commends the Gandhi International Institute for Peace upon the celebration of the 18th International Day of Nonviolence and Mahatma Gandhi Day celebration. We are grateful for your efforts to serve our state by championing the cause of nonviolence and reminding us of the true aloha spirit. We wish you continued success and fulfillment of your mission to honor the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi while promoting a culture of global peace, tolerance, and understanding. And thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I guess, unfortunately, no one from the House of Representatives came, so Dr. Kumar asked me to present this one as well. So just bear with me. And the House of Representatives do their certificates a little bit differently. They start every sentence with "whereas." So I'll go ahead and read that as Dr. Kumar has asked me to. So whereas the state of Hawaii recognizes the 154th anniversary of the birth of Mahatma Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, one of the most influential political and spiritual leaders of all time, and whereas Mahatma Gandhi pioneered Satyagraha, a philosophy of resistance to tyranny through nonviolent civil disobedience, it continues to resonate in the hearts of countless world leaders, justice seekers, and individuals today. And whereas Mahatma Gandhi led expansive campaigns to ease poverty, elevate women's rights, build religious and ethnic amity, and end untouchability, and most notably establish India's national independence from British rule. And whereas since its founding by Dr. Raj Kumar in 2001, the Gandhi International Institute for Peace has been raising awareness about peace and nonviolence in Hawaii and around the world. Whereas in tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, who was born in Porbandar, India on October 2nd, 1869, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution on June 15th, 2007, declaring October 2nd the International Day of Nonviolence. Whereas, similarly, the 28th Legislature of the State of Hawaii unanimously passed, and Governor David Ige signed into law Act 5, Session Laws of Hawaii 2015, declaring October 2nd as Mahatma Gandhi Day in Hawaii to raise awareness of and support for human dignity and peaceful conflict resolution in furtherance of a harmonious, safe, and compassionate society. And now, therefore, the House of Representatives of the 32nd Legislature of the State of Hawaii, that this body hereby congratulates and honors the Gandhi International Institute of Peace on its October 2nd program, Global Peace, in observance of the Institute's 18th annual celebration of Mahatma Gandhi Day and the International Day of Nonviolence. Thank you so much for listening and for being here today. Aloha, namaste. Oh yeah, let's get a photo. Who's going to take it? Oh, okay.
Cliff is a man of selfless action, a true exemplar of karma yoga. He serves on the nonprofit Partners in Care, addressing homelessness throughout Hawaii. He has helped Blanche McMillan to co-found the highly successful tiny house village called Hui Mahi Ai Aina, which currently houses up to 100 individuals and families in Waimanalo. With the governor's approval, Cliff has most recently initiated a team to save the fire-damaged Lahaina banyan and many nearby trees. Cliff Tilton clearly follows a path of karma yoga, service through action.
Great beings, spiritual and ethical great beings, are almost always misunderstood, persecuted, and often silenced. I'm thinking of Socrates and Jesus and Gandhi and Martin Luther King and Abraham Lincoln. And this is just another effort to try and silence a great, great being. And it's our job to really, really try and understand these great beings and to stand up for them when they're being persecuted, as I think is happening here, and then to carry their message forward and speaking and not being silent. With that said, it's a challenge to all of us to live out the ideals and ideas of Gandhi in our own personal lives. As I was sitting there, I was noticing that actually we have 3 giant banyan trees right here surrounding the site of Gandhi's statue, and they made me think of the Hindu Trimurti of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. And you know, Shiva is often considered to be the god of destruction, but he's also the god of regeneration, of new beginnings, new hope. And like the third person that was announcing me, the giant banyan tree in Lahaina is coming back. There's all kinds of new leaves all over it, and it'll give hopefully some hope, as well as a lot of the other trees in Lahaina are coming back as well, some of the ulu breadfruit trees and so forth, to the community over there who is struggling so much. The comments I was going to make, I didn't know that Gandhi wasn't back in his place. The comments I was going to make were these, that we'd all probably agree that one of the most brilliant thinkers, minds of the modern era is Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was able to pull back the complexity of the universe and see to some of its fundamental core laws, and be able to show us that this entire universe that we live in is governed by mathematics, by laws. And one of those, of course, everybody knows, is that energy equals mass times the speed of light squared, E equals mc squared. But this man, this great man, Albert Einstein, had this to say about Mahatma Gandhi. He said that generations to come will scarce believe that such a man as this ever in flesh and blood walked this earth. That's pretty high praise from someone like Einstein. Why did he say that? Why did Einstein say that about Gandhi? And I think it's partly because besides the laws and mathematics of the physical universe, there's an inner universe too. And it was Gandhi who saw into that inner universe and saw that it has a mathematics as well. It has a moral mathematics. And some of his great teachings are really about that moral mathematics. In particular, ahimsa, the idea of nonviolence, that you will never gain lasting peace through violent means. Through violent means only comes from that action that's violent will come a reaction that in turn will be violent, and then retribution, and on it goes through the blame game and scapegoating, and that just never, the karmic wheel never ends. But with nonviolence, with ahimsa, with aloha, with compassion, empathy, caring, sympathy, these high virtues that we can cultivate in ourselves, we can end violence. We can actually bring peace into the world. And this is a law, this is the mathematics of the universe on the inside. Another one of Gandhi's great mathematical insights is called Sarvodaya. And Sarvodaya means universal uplift. But it also, the subtext of that is, but the most needy first. It's not uplift of the majority, it's the uplift of the most needy. And by uplifting the most needy, we uplift the whole. In other words, there should not be any pukas in the safety net, in the social safety net of a given community or a society. If there are, you do not have peace in that society. So the idea of Sarvodaya is look for those that are most in need and help them. 2 days before Gandhi was assassinated, he wrote down something on his desk where he was staying, and it's come to be known as Gandhi's talisman. And it's really about Sarvodaya. And I just want to read you this talisman. He says, I will give you a talisman. Whenever you are in doubt, or when the personal self becomes too much with you, apply the following test. Recall the face of the poorest and weakest human being whom you may have seen, and ask yourself if the step you contemplate is going to be of any use to them. Will they gain anything by it? Will it restore them to a control over their own life and destiny? In other words, will it lead to self-rule, Swaraj, and universal uplift, Sarvodaya, for the hungry and spiritually starving millions? Then you will find your doubts and your lower self melt away. So you might ask, where are all the Gandhians today? Where are all the Sarvodayans? Well, I just happen to know one. She lives on the other side of the Ko'olaus in Waimanalo. Her name is Blanche McMillan, and she's lived in Waimanalo her whole life, in the same house her whole life. And she would see people in her community that were struggling and needy, and they were on the street or in the beach park or in an encampment in Sherwood Forest. And she said, this is wrong. We need to do something. And she said, I'm going to build little houses in my backyard for you people if you want to come, and you can be part of my family. So come stay with me. So she got donations, and a bunch of little mini homes were built, like 70 of them, communal kitchens, bathrooms, and so forth. And she invited all these people that were struggling, a lot of kapuna, a lot of children, keiki, and others, and they came. And I witnessed it from the beginning. And the amazing thing is these people that were beat down, their self-worth was in tatters, their sense of self-dignity was gone by living on the streets so long, they regained that. They became part of this family, this wonderful Kauhali, this community. And it was just amazing to see the self-transformation by someone like that extending her love, her aloha to these people most in need. So it's a perfect example of Sarvodaya. So I'm challenging all of us to try to be Sarvodayans as well, Gandhians. And to me what that means is when you see someone that's struggling, that's in need, a keiki, a kapuna, a homeless person, don't think this, which is the common way to think. There but for the grace of God go I. Do not think this. Think as Gandhi would have, as Jesus would have. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within. Gandhi felt the self is within all of us. Don't think there but for the grace of God go I. Think there go I. That is me inside that person, and serve that person, help that person, find out their name, see if they need anything. This is how we end homelessness. This is how we end the struggles that we all face, and then we can actually have a community of enduring peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cliff, for the wonderful stories, and mahalo for the work that you're doing in Maui to help restore the trees and the plants, and I know that that will also be very uplifting for the people there to see that. So it is my great honor to introduce someone, a lovely lady who has spent her life dedicated in the pursuit of peace. And she's also a member of our Gandhi International Institute for Peace. And her name is Dr. Barbara Malamed, PhD, ABPP, MFT, Harvard Law School Program of Negotiation. She has published her new book titled POW, Peace Over War. So that gives that a wonderful meaning. Using meditation and conflict resolution to reconcile international and local disputes. She has also served as the chairperson of our GIIP Advisory Board. So it is my great honor to introduce Barbara Malamed.
One is, I'm going to talk about Gandhi's friend, Martin Luther King Jr. In 1959, when I was still in high school, King went to India to learn more about Gandhi, and he met with Gandhi's son. And that inspired him and strengthened his already belief in civil disobedience, not only nonviolence, but standing up for the homeless. They're houseless. They're not homeless. So that my first thing is that King learned from Gandhi. My second thing is from Martin Luther King Jr. Hate cannot stop hate. Only love can do that. And the third thing, love can transform an enemy into a friend. Let me say that again. Love is the only thing that can transform an enemy into a friend. And love for me, I was an exchange student. From when I was in high school, I lived in India. Ich habe gut Deutsch. I lived in Germany. I lived with families. I shared toothpaste. That's how that third thing happens, that love can transform an enemy into a friend. And so I'll just end this by reminding you that Hawaii was once blown up by the Japanese. My first love is my Japanese grandson, Gen Kobayashi. So Hawaii goes to war, but it says life in Hawaii from Pearl Harbor to peace. And I'll end with the woman or man, who's always influenced my life. And of course, my native Hawaiian Portuguese husband, who's hiding out somewhere in the back row, who I love. Thank you for your time, and thank you for showing up. And each of you share the day with someone else you love, who you want to be your friend, and teach them how to get rid of their enemies. And children in here, those of you in beautiful costumes over there, this is our future today. We need to get the kids involved, not in video games that kill, but in exciting things that embrace peace in the world. Mahalo and good life to each of you. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Barbara. Barbara is like the ambassador that is not official, but always out there spreading peace and thoughts that bring us to the idea of peace and love. So next, we will have Jose Barzola speak. Jose has been affiliated with the faculty teaching courses on peace. This is through UH, teaching courses on peace and conflict management, a professional mediator, and currently the conflict and peace specialist at the University of Hawaii in Manoa, as well as actively involved in the community outside the university. Jose? It's all you.
Thanks so much. That was beautiful. Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for having me here, and it's still good morning. So you've heard from a lot of speakers, so I'm going to keep mine a little bit shorter and try not to be repetitive. I think one thing that has resonated today is Gandhi's exemplified his strength through unwavering commitment to peace, freedom, and justice. And I'm going to delve a little further into that specifically. Everyone probably remembers his famous quote. Oh, too loud? Okay. An eye for an eye will make the whole world blind. I don't know if anyone's ever had a moment to reflect upon that, but it serves as a powerful reminder of the infectious cycle, unfortunately, of violence and the urgent need for individual communities and nations to break from this cycle. Really, when some folks talked about positive peace, I really love to focus on the proactiveness of that. When we talk about peace building, to me, it's about what are the skill sets that we need to develop some healthy, positive relationships. And we can see that today by the community that's just out here and other places that celebrate Gandhi's birthday throughout the world. But more than anything, it is a call to action, urging us to embrace dialogue, understanding, and empathy as instruments of change. Nonviolence challenges us to reach out to those who differ from us, to find ground and create lasting solutions to our shared problems. I recall a couple years back, I took actually a nonviolent class, and it delved further into what I hadn't even thought about, like just our everyday language and how we utilize it. So why do we need to, when you all probably can connect to the term when you write a paper, having bullet points, or why do we need to use such violent language in that process? Are there alternatives? So just kind of take a step back from your everyday language and what you process and what you do as a routine and what can be done differently. Why do we tell folks to go break a leg when they're gonna, do a performance? Is there kinder ways that we can move about life? So I think that's really at the essence of, or at the beginning of when we think about nonviolence is kind of what comes to mind to me. I do want to, each one of us does have the power to make a difference, to be a source of peace and harmony in our communities. We can amplify Gandhi's message of nonviolence by standing against injustice and promoting dialogue over discord. In my line of work, a lot of, conflicts arise and they come to me, and my question is always like, well, have you been communicating with the person? Many times the answer is no. Whether it's culturally or maybe we're just routine-wise or we're so distracted, we're so used to just, let's pivot, let's avoid. And as opposed to, let's engage, let's explore ways to collaborate, which once more, today's event is a wonderful example of collaboration coming together. But on this day, let us express gratitude for all those who continue to carry the torch of nonviolence. There are countries, individual organizations, movements around the globe that strive to create a more just and peaceful world. And as I conclude, let us seize the opportunity to renew our commitment to Gandhi's principles of nonviolence. Let us be the change we wish to be in the world and contribute to the global movement of peace and justice. And together we can build a future that embodies the spirit of Mahatma Gandhi, a future in which nonviolence prevails, humanity flourishes, and the world stands united as one. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Jose. Jose has actually been involved in many years in our Gandhi program as a speaker, also as an MC, so we really appreciate your participation so much. So, next we're going to have a dance by Arini Shankaralingam. So I think so she attends first grade at the Wailea Elementary Public Charter School in Honolulu, Hawaii. She is learning Bharatanatyam and hula. She loves dancing, drawing, and coloring. She also has interest in solving puzzles, reading books, and she choreographed the dance steps for Desha Rangala, a song which she will be performing for Mahatma Gandhi Day.
Thank
So thank you, Irene. That was beautiful. I have to reiterate that she is a first grader. She choreographed this with help from mom, and she has also performed at the Honolulu Museum of Art, the Hawaii Polo Club, Waile'i Got Talent, and the Lotus Hawaii. So pretty accomplished for a first grader. That's amazing. Okay, so next we have Harendra Penalal will speak. Harendra is actually the president of the Gandhi International Institute for Peace. He's been on the board of directors of GIIP since its inception. All his ancestors of his wife and he were born and raised as Jains. His family has lived in Honolulu for over 50 years. He's a retired mechanical engineer in construction industry and is on the board of the All Believers Network. He is the president and vice president of 2 large condominium boards in Honolulu. So it doesn't sound very retired. So we welcome Harendra Penalal.
Aloha and namaste, ladies and gentlemen. My topic for today is how Mahatma was most influenced by Jainism, a 5,000-year-old religion. The word Jain is derived from the word Jina, which means a conqueror who has complete control over his 5 senses, and one who has conquered his inner enemies such as greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, etc. The traditional Jain greeting is Jai Jinendra, which means victory to the Jinas. Please repeat after me, Jai Jinendra. Jainism fundamental prayer is called Namokar Mantra, which mentions bowing down to all great souls regardless of their religions. There is no mention of any God, and this prayer does not ask for any material things. Mahatma's preaching of non-violence is the fundamental primary tenet of Jainism. Jainism's Holy Week is called Paryushana Parva, which ended around mid-September and is called Samvatsari. Jainism's annual prayer is called Pratikaman, which frequently uses the word Michhami Dukadam, which means I seek forgiveness from all living creatures who I may have harmed knowingly or unknowingly, either by my thought or by my words or by my actions. Jainism's symbol shows a palm of the hand, which means stop before committing any violence. The word ahimsa, meaning non-violence, is inscribed in the center of the circle of Jainism's symbol. Srimad Jat Chandra, although not born a Jain, whom Mahatma considered his friend, philosopher, and guide, was one of the greatest exponents of Jainism of modern times. Other 3 were Westerners, Henry David Thoreau, Leo Tolstoy, and John Ruskin. Mahatma followed the 5 basic tenets of Jainism, that is, non-violence, truth, not to steal, lead a chaste life, and not to accumulate wealth. Around March 2014, a Jain monk fasted for 6 months, living only on boiled water. He is the 12th person in recorded history to accomplish this feat. So much for a daily dose of vitamins and calories and minerals. Around November 2014, another Jain monk took 500 questions from the audience and repeated them in the same order. In the end, he apologized to the audience for missing 3 of them and recited them. This shows what human brains are capable of doing. After listening to my brief talk, if anybody wants to join Jainism, I'm taking application. There may even be a signing bonus. Mahalo, Dhanyavad, Shukriya, Namaste, thank you. And these are the symbols of Jainism, and these are the one. So I'm still taking application, and signing bonus is a set aside. Mahalo.
Thank you very much, Harendra. Our next speaker is Reverend Sol M. Kalu. Reverend Kalu was born and grew up in the Republic of the Philippines. On a visit to Kyoto, Reverend Kalu encountered the Judo Shinsu teaching and eventually followed the call and became a Buddhist minister. He received Tokudo orientation in 2007 and Kuyoshi orientation in 2010. After serving 2 years at Hawaii Betsuin, Reverend Kalu is assigned to Makawa Hogonji. In 2012, Reverend Kalu in 2012, sorry. Reverend Kalu speaks Japanese and enjoys writing kanji. He has many interests, including snorkeling, martial arts, science, and travel. Very well-rounded here. So, Reverend Kalu? There you go. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone, and aloha. And good morning on this event marking the 18th annual celebration of Mahatma Gandhi Day and International Day of Nonviolence. In this turbulent time in human history, marked by social unrest, continuing wars, and threats of global escalation, possibly leading to the annihilation of all life on Earth, it is all the more imperative for us to deeply reflect on what it is to avoid violence in any form to resolve our differences. The great political ethicist, lawyer, and Indian nationalist Mahatma Gandhi, in whose memory this event is being held, spread the concept of ahimsa, non-violence, that is, not causing harm to anyone in any condition or situation. Ahimsa, an ancient Indian principle of not harming or inflicting pain or hurt, in other words, refraining from committing acts that can cause another living being to suffer. It's a cardinal virtue not only in Buddhism, but also in Hinduism, Jainism, and Sikhism, religious traditions founded in ancient India, as well as the other great religious traditions in the world, like Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. It is a principle that applies not only to human beings, but to all life forms as well, governed by the laws of karmic consequences of any and all actions, positive or negative. Violence, most often expressed in warfare, has been part of history since the beginning of organized human societies. Wars for control of the resources and the immense suffering they cause has plagued humankind like natural disasters. We human beings can send ourselves to the moon and back and spend billions of dollars to eliminate the diseases that kill us. But we pay little attention to rooting out the motivations that cause us to kill each other. The history of mankind is a history of wars and conquest. For thousands of years, man has been unable to liberate himself from fear of violent death due to the actions of his fellow human being. And why is that? Because we cannot get rid of ourselves of hatred, discrimination, selfishness, and desires. We are blinded by our delusions, our ego, our blind passions that prevent us from seeing things as they really are. Our desire to possess creates attachment and discrimination, as in, quote, "This is mine, this is my territory. You look different from us and speak a different language. Therefore, you do not belong with us," and so on. This desire to possess and discriminate is strengthened by the belief that the world and everything in it is permanent. The Buddha taught that nothing is ever permanent and things are always in a constant state of change. So, to think that our lives and material things are permanent is wishful thinking. Surely we realize that no one can live forever and that no one carries money, power, or beauty with him or her at death. Most wars begin with a desire to conquer other people or possess others' wealth or resources. But sometimes wars can begin by simple arguments and petty quarrels among tribal groups that escalate out of desire to avenge a hurt ego. Where there is no forgiveness, patience, or tolerance among nations, there can be no lasting peace. Both Mahatma Gandhi and the Buddha understood and taught that the core teaching of resolving differences is not through violent means, but through love and understanding. And this is achieved through changing our perspective on how to relate to our fellow human beings and other life forms as well. Wars and other acts of violence originate in the mind, and so therefore the solution also comes from the mind. By taming the discriminating mind and realizing the oneness of all life, a more peaceful world is possible. If mankind can spend vast resources towards making instruments of war and destruction, so too can he channel those resources to a more positive endeavor that benefits not only humanity, but the whole planet as well. Indeed, Mahatma Gandhi himself said, "Our greatest ability as humans is not to change the world, but to change ourselves." Same with that one. You must be the change if you wish to see a change in the world. There is an ancient Chinese saying that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Such is the way to peace also. We begin with ourselves and radiate it towards others. Everything begins in our minds. What we think, we become. What we sow, we reap. Violence brings about more violence. Love and goodwill begets peace and tranquility. We harbor peaceful thoughts, we become peaceful persons or people, regardless of external conditions. And like a wave that begins small, the peace that we spread to others becomes bigger until it engulfs the world and humankind into a different, much better reality, that of the end of wars and much suffering. The way to violence has no mind, and there are no in fighting, only losers on both sides. Thank you all, and may there be lasting peace for all of us as we live in this period of escalating global conflicts that could spell the doom for all humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reverend Kalu. Our next speaker today is Molly Speary. She is the Secretary General of the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i of the Hawaiian Islands. She is the member of the Honolulu Sunrise Rotary and serves on the Interfaith Ohana and the Interfaith Peace and Community Assembly. Interfaith Community Building Endeavors. She has been on the National Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i of the Hawaiian Islands, which administers the 27 districts of the Baha'i across our islands, including 20 local spiritual assemblies for 36 years, serving as Secretary General since 2014. So I'd like to introduce you to Molly Speary. Just take it behind me. Thank you. Just hold this close to us.
Aloha, Maiko. Thank you for hanging on, guys. Oh gosh. I'm honored to be part of the 154th birthday celebration of Mahatma Gandhi, and now fittingly also the International Day of Nonviolence. It is a day to remember, as we have been doing, Mahatma Gandhi, his life, his ideals, his actions. In preparation for today, I Googled him to remind myself of just those things, his life, his ideals, and his action. Mahatma Gandhi, as we have been recognizing today, is well recognized as a great mediator and reconciler, and an incredibly influential political leader. But in my brief segment of today's program, I wish to emphasize the foundation of his work. I quote from a resource: "The mainspring of his, Mahatma Gandhi's life, lay in religion, not in politics. And religion for him did not mean formalization, dogma, ritual, sectarianism. He wrote in his autobiography, what I have been striving and pining to achieve for 30 years is to see God face to face. His deepest strivings were spiritual. But unlike many of his fellow Indians with such aspirations, he did not retire to a cave in the Himalayas to meditate on the absolute. He carried his cave, as he once said, within him. For him, the truth was not something to be discovered in the privacy of one's personal life. It had to be upheld in the challenging context of social and political life. Mahatma Gandhi acted on his deep religious convictions. Indeed, he was a catalyst of movements against colonialism, racism, and violence. So today I suggest that the observations and the reflections and the inspiration of Mahatma Gandhi serve to compel us to enhanced action. I especially call on people of faith to apply the healing medicine within their scriptures to the strife and the disunity of this world. Let us pray now together. Pray for the success of all who do just that. Apply the essence of their religious scriptures for the healing of the world, and for those who labor for peace, justice, and nonviolence in the spirit of utmost kindness and love. From the Baha'i writings, let us pray. O my God, assist thou all of them, and pour upon them the showers of thy divine confirmations, so that they may become the cause of tranquility of the world of creation, to be servants of the human race, to become with all their hearts and souls the real friend of nations, to become with the utmost joy and fragrance the spiritual companions of all the adherents of all religions, to dispel the darkness of strangeness and to spread the lights of friendship in this transitory world. Aloha. God is most gracious.